Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to another video. We have another discussion video on Cyberpunk. It is the 7th, so depending where you live, for me, I'm 2 days away, 48 hours away from receiving the game, getting ready to play it. And the preload did come out today, and we have some more information on the preload and also the day 1 patch or the day 0 patch. Pretty much the patch that as soon as the game is really released, you can pretty much it's like a patch that has a lot of bug fixes and stuff like that because they have to prepare the game months ahead of time, and then in that time frame from what's it called, when they finish developing the game to when it's going to be released, that time frame, whether it's weeks, months, whatever it is, they do fix bugs that they can and then put it into a patch and call it the day 1 patch or the day 0 patch and stuff of that, right? So for the preload, as we can see right over here, the preload looks, let me just refresh this. There you go, it looks a little bit better now. So the preload is about 60 gigabytes, 59 and some change. I haven't purchased the game as of right now. I am going to pre-order probably tonight or tomorrow night and then preload it before it comes out. Procrastination. That's pretty much the main reason. But what's it called? So this looks about 59 gigabytes, about 60 gigabytes. And then over here we have the day 1 patch information from PC Gamer, which is one of those review companies. Here's their statement pretty much. We received a 50 gigabyte patch during our review period. CD Projekt Red referred to this patch as the day 0 patch or the day 1 patch. Well, it's day 0 for them because obviously it's before the game is released. When asked for clarification whether the patch will be what the players were receiving at launch, a CD Projekt Red representative told us that the Day 0 patch is what people will be experiencing on launch day. It is the Day 1 patch, it's only different in name. More fixes will be rolled out into the Day 0/Day 1 patch, but we cannot specifically specify exactly what. So what it looks like by this statement right here is on top of the 59 gigabytes that you just downloaded as a preload, right? There's going to be an additional, probably more than 50 gigabytes that you will have to download because obviously it's the day 0 patch which they received, which was 50 gigabytes, plus extra changes. So it's going to be obviously more than 50 gigabytes. How much more? It could be a little bit more. It could be a lot more. Nobody really knows at this point, right? But I don't know exactly, like, because there's sometimes when game companies like put out these huge updates, sometimes this 50 gigabytes gets added on top of this, and that's kind of like how big the game is. But sometimes in a way it's like rewritten code, or kind of like it's going to get cycled through, like the older files in this 59 gigabytes is going to get cycled through with the new 50 gigabytes, and it's still going to be more than this. Like your total file size is still going to be more than this, but at the same time it might not be 109. It won't be 50 plus 59, but it depends what kind of changes they are. So it could be 109 gigabytes, like the game file size, or it could be less. That's pretty much all we have at this point. It's going to be a big download, especially people who have a little bit slower connection, and I'm pretty sure your Steam download speed is based on like your hardware and stuff, right? So you might have to spend some time downloading it, which is unfortunate, but pretty much for a lot of big games nowadays, that's usually how it goes. Let's see what people have to say about it. Honestly, I believe Day 1 patch will be focused on most game-breaking bugs, such as saves not loading data correctly, as well as characters breaking dialogue mid-story and possible game crashes. Other than that, you will see characters clipping and random NPCs disappearing and whatnot that has come up with these reviews. These will be fixed in upcoming patches for sure. CD Projekt Red Germany Fabio Mario has come up on Twitter saying some functions are breaking because of the game settings. We could see a fix near the future, but it's weird though. Okay, so he's part of the team, and he said we had those issues in Germany too. I'm guessing he's replying to what's it called? I guess a NPC clipping issue. When the settings are too high for your setup, the game is unable to stream the content and stuff starts to go missing. Animations, audio, lip sync, objects. Adjust settings and it works way smoother. Okay, so it pretty much states if you play at way too high settings, bad stuff kind of happens in terms of the graphics. Which okay. Personally, this wouldn't affect me. I don't know. Look, I have I spent a considerable amount on my PCs because what's it called? I had a job before I was doing this YouTube stuff that required me to have a very strong PC. So, I spent a lot of money on it, and obviously it was like a business expense in a way, right? But even with my PC setup, I could run an ultra or high, whatever the highest thing is. But whenever I play games, I choose to just keep it at a good medium and sometimes put some stuff to high. I don't know if that's just like I don't know because I used to have like a very bad PC, and that's kind of how I would play most games, either on low or medium. And it might just be my mindset where I just always put games like that. But I just feel like if you put it on medium and high, you know, I don't know. It might just be me, but just like I feel like the gameplay is always smoother than trying to max it out. I feel like on super max settings, any game is just it's gonna have like those weird issues, and I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I prefer medium and with some high features enabled as well. But I do know people who do like to play on very, very high and all of that. So, this might be a problem, but I don't think it's the biggest problem. I don't think a majority of people who bought the game have these, very, very super high tech PC setups where this will be a huge, huge issue. And if it's just a couple clipping things, again, you can lower your what's it called? Your settings. It's not a big deal, in my opinion. What else do we got? There's some more tweets. He also added to these tweets. Okay. They're not they are not. A bunch of issues reviewers encountered and reported have been fixed already. Some more are part of the update. Okay. Everybody join the game. People expect way too much from the day one patch. That is true. That is true. A lot of people expect like all the reviewer problems to just be completely fixed, all the people who played it before to just be completely fixed, or how some games they let people play for like 2 hours like 6 months before the game gets released so they could like make a lot of YouTube content or stuff of that stuff like that. And then what's it called, they're like, oh, these changes are probably going to be fixed by the launch. They're usually not, and that's not by the developer's fault. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done for a game release, and some small little bugs, if they're not the easiest to fix, they're going to save for after the game gets released. And it does make sense. You obviously have priorities that you have to do before, stuff like that. So I agree. It's not magically fix all the issues. There have been a couple of patches in the last week or so, and those weren't for S and giggles, and yet the game is still very buggy, as it will be on day one. That is true. I'm guessing it's the same dev response that was up there. But alright. What is this? They're just talking about the glitches. Okay. Hopefully this was informative, guys. So we'll see exactly how big the game will be in terms of, file size once it does come out. You can obviously speculate. We got, what's it called? News from one of the reviewers and some news from the developers. And that's pretty much it at this point. I'm going to keep you guys informed when more comes out. And like always, stay safe.